Have you ever seen a little girl washing dishes, her eyes longing for the books on the shelf? A girl who sweeps others' rooms but hides her own dreams inside her heart. This is the story of such a girl, a domestic worker who scrubbed dishes with her hands, and polished the world with her mind. The morning sun rose over the crowded streets of Lahore. The buzz of traffic, the sounds of children leaving for school, and amidst it all, a quiet shadow, a young girl. 12 years old. Small in height. A rag in one hand, a scarf on her shoulder, and exhaustion written across her face. She worked in 5 homes daily, sweeping, scrubbing, washing clothes, and sometimes taking care of toddlers. Her mother was sick, and her father had remarried. She was the only one keeping the house running. And in every house, the same words echoed: wash the dishes properly. Don't make me repeat myself. But one house was different. It belonged to a school teacher, Mrs. Ali. As the girl washed dishes, she would steal glances at the books resting on the table. She couldn't read the words, but the pictures fascinated her. She thought, if only I could read these books. If only I could write something of my own. One day, Mrs. Ali caught her staring. But instead of scolding her, she smiled and asked, "Do you like books?" The girl nodded shyly. Mrs. Ali handed her an old book and said, "Learn one word a day, and recite it to me. We'll clean, and we'll learn." That was the day her life changed. She washed dishes by day and learned letters by night. From A, B, C her journey moved to full sentences. While sweeping the floor, her mind would weave stories. She'd talk to herself quietly, memorizing new words. When people in other homes scoffed, she's just a maid, what could she ever become? Mrs. Ali would laugh and say, "This girl will surprise us all one day." One day, the girl nervously handed Mrs. Ali a short story about a girl who washed dishes, but held poetry in her soul. Mrs. Ali sent it to a children's magazine. Weeks later, the story was published. For the first time, she read her story aloud to her mother. Tears streamed down her mother's cheeks. She kept working hard, balancing education and chores. Mrs. Ali applied for scholarships, an NGO stepped in to help. She went to school, then college, and finally completed her master's in literature. The girl once known as a maid, was now known as a woman of the pen. Her first book was published, The Girl Inside Me. It became a hit. Interviews, social media buzz, people lining up for autographs, and one name stood out everywhere. One day, the same girl who once swept floors sat on stage at a prestigious literary festival as the guest of honor. She held the mic and said, "Yes, I washed dishes. I polished shoes. But I never stopped befriending words. People mocked me, but my teacher gave me a single word, and that one word opened the door to my dreams." Then, she raised the same book she once wrote for children. This is for every girl who still works in homes like I once did, but who carries a world of dreams inside her heart.